we're on the air already.
Hooray.
So I'm going to get Planetbase started.
Sure.
Because that's what we're playing today.
Just looking at things I made in college, it's surreal.
Oh,
to go and play something I worked on 8 years ago or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's it's surreal for me to think about the games that I made 8 years ago
One day
as well.
I might have you stream playing some of the weird crap I made.
That would be hilarious.
2D ASCII Mech Warrior. Yeah.
2D ASCII Mech
2D ASCII Mech Warrior. They told us it had to be in the Windows console, and I was like, I'm gonna make Mech Warrior. Damn it!
That's amazing.
The UI is the worst thing you've ever seen.
Okay, so this is Planetbase. I've got the sound turned off because we don't need it.
It's nice, but we don't need it.
Yeah. So tomorrow in the mail, I should be getting a splitter, so we can both have headphones.
Hooray!
And so we won't have to be like
superior.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I do have the speaker on. It's just very, very subtle.
You turn it up, a couple notches maybe.
Well, then my pickup on the mic. Okay. It really is not essential for this. Like you do not need. It's just atmospheric.
It's just nice.
All it is.
It does help you know when a couple of gameplay moments happen.
No tutorial. Class D planet.
So I will say. Let me help you if you're not going to do the tutorial. It's really easy.
No. I played the tutorial before.
Oh, okay.
I'm skipping it because who wants to watch?
You don't want to do that. Yeah.
So
they did my favorite version of the tutorial implementation, which is, did you play this game yet? And you're like, no. And it's like, here's the tutorial. It tries not to let you opt out of it because it doesn't want you to screw yourself up.
Yeah. I imagine this game could get very frustrating if you don't know what your people need to survive.
Yeah.
So we're settling down on our planet,
Here's
kind
our
of deserty planet, kind of Marsy.
Mars-ish. Mars-alike.
Mars-light.
Even better.
Because,
Here are our little colonists walking off of the ark.
So these are 3 workers, a couple biologists, and an engineer?
I think you're right. Because you get 1 engineer and 1 medic, 2 biologists, 3 workers to start.
There, yeah. And a couple of robots.
If you lose your 1 medic and anybody gets sick, you're kind of effed.
Are sicknesses like communicable?
Sicknesses aren't communicable, but it's like, oh, this person will never do any work until they're better. And making them better, so it's the first thing.
So you gotta feed them.
Yes. You immediately want a oxygen generator and an airlock. So you try to place the oxygen thing.
I usually point my airlock towards a mountain.
Because you're gonna have to build a mine later?
Yeah.
You'll also wind up having an airlock be your primary point of access to all of your repairs and construction for solar panels and such. So I'd actually recommend pick like a little cove, like a closed area that will have room for you to put solar panels and stuff, but also rimmed in rock so you can put mines there, and then have your airlock just kind of open into that.
So thinking maybe like I put the airlock here, and then I'll drag the oxygen
behind you, and then you could do your mines sort of over here-ish, and then you could do, nobody can see what I'm pointing to. I need to get a little laser pointer or some UI that I can like point to stuff on.
You're saying over here is where we might put the mine,
right?
And then we got room out here to put our solar stuff,
right? Or like for a 30-ish person base, that's enough space.
All right, so I'm gonna throw that down, and then an oxygen generator, right?
Yes. I would recommend large. Use it now so to make it bigger.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, there's certain things where the first time you want them as close together as you can. Maximizing your use of space is a thing, although you won't notice it until you've built it too sparsely and are in trouble because there's no space left.
Yeah. So I took me a while to figure out that the airlock was going to automatically orient itself.
Yeah, I did that too, where I just kept rotating the camera and re-clicking it and trying to figure out why isn't it pointing the way I want.
And then, but because it's a dead end, they know
automatically aligns to whatever's behind it.
Okay, so your base has to be one entire piece. And some of the pieces can have multiple branches off them,
and some of them are
dead ends. And the ones with multiple branches, a lot of times there's equipment you can install that you can't install right in front of a door.
In fact, the more connections you make, the less equipment you can fit in there, which is a vaguely believable space constraint.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we've got your airlock, you've got some oxygen, you need power and water. So go to exterior.
Okay, yeah, so we need power.
Yes. So I would honestly recommend build the largest solar panel you can.
Because we've got a bunch of free supplies right now, so we might as well,
You're going to be able to break down your, as close as you can. You're going to be able to break down your starter ship into a bunch of metal later. Like, don't do it yet because it'll make your resources start to decay.
Oh, gotcha.
You will, and water, also the largest one you can build because your oxygen supplier needs...
depends on water.
Yes, it needs water and power. It doesn't have to be connected to it directly, just somewhere on the grid.
That's true. I just like to connect things directly.
You can also hit the plus button to make things go a bunch faster.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we should. So is there one? Okay, we need to connect these. I just realized.
Otherwise it probably won't.
So nothing builds unless you connect. So your base has to be one solid piece. In fact,
it has to all be connected, but you can have like a chunk of indoor area and then outdoor and then indoor again.
Oh, okay.
So you can have bases that function almost like they're separate bases, but they have to share a power grid.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, and you can't even delete pieces unless
if it would disconnect
they're
your
on the-
base, you can't kill a beast. Correct.
That
That being
certainly
said,
simplifies things for them.
when it lets you build your first oxygen collector, I think you might be able to make another oxygen generator somewhere else and then start up a new base.
Oh, interesting.
I'm actually tonight when I go home, I'm probably going to figure out if that works.
So I think I'll do
definitely need a power collector, and you definitely want a big one.
We'll do that. So basically, solar collectors are the most consistent and efficient power sources.
Right, so you want to connect the collector.
Oh yeah, thank you. I always forget that.
I know, it's really easy. Windmills are random, and wind in the game is very random. Like, you might have X amount of wind every day spread across different hours, and then for 3 days in a row there'll be no wind.
Yeah, so you can't rely on those.
I've learned that they seem dumb to me. Like, I don't think they're nice to have when they work, but because they might ever fail, this is the sort of game
and
where
failing once is like a huge problem.
you death spiral. This game is all about avoiding the death spiral while building up.
Hey there, Wardenator. Good to see you.
We're playing Planetbase. It's a game where you make a base on a planet. It is very self-descriptive.
Yes.
It's a game about not having your base on a planet.
I like that you need the water collector to make oxygen. They're basically like electrolyzing it or whatever to.
Yep. You're taking electricity and water and you're zapping it and taking the oxygen out.
That's pretty cool.
Makes perfect sense. Perfect.
I wish you could burn the hydrogen to make electricity, but whatever.
We'll get there. Maybe.
Okay, so building this stuff. So what is the next thing that I need?
It'll unlock a set of things now. I would recommend a canteen so people need to eat, and then a dorm so that they can sleep ever.
Should I just pick the biggest of everything up front?
Not everything. The canteen, I actually got away with a small one for a while. And the dorm, I would say you should make big. Keep in mind, you're going to think about, does this facility cause problems based on its worst case scenario or based on its average case? Your canteen is mostly a worst case scenario, and your worst case scenario is like a lot of people need to eat at once, and waiting a little bit longer to eat doesn't kill them. Hey, Chronatosis. Welcome to chat.
That's true. Is sleep more deadly? Lack of sleep
is more deadly, but everybody has to sleep at the same time because it's night. So they'll all try to sleep simultaneously, but they're much more willing to figure out eating. So I would recommend a big dorm.
I think I just did one.
Click on it. Oh, okay. So yeah, that'll work. Hooray! You also want to try and get stuff central to your oxygen generator. The farther oxygen has to travel, the lower it gets. And so you want that to be the sort of centrally... Like, this is the style of problem this game is all about, is like slow, methodical, min-maxy stuff. Like, try to make decisions now that you won't regret later. And it's 1,000 little micro choices
So if I were to build I mean, this one has to be by the airlock, right? But if I wanted to build a second one...
It could be connected to anything.
Make it more central.
Yes. Now, that large generator is good for like 30 people, so you're probably fine for a long time.
Okay.
Like, I just built my second one in a base that I've been playing for 5 or 6 hours.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you want to let those things finish before you build more. I would recommend the let time go faster. Plus. Or just hit it a couple times. So let's say game speed to 2, game speed to 4. Also, be mindful of running out of power. You click on that collector and you can see how much is left in it. And if that gets to 0, your people will stop making oxygen.
And up there is
the amount of like daylight.
Yeah.
That you're currently, or the amount of light your solar panel is getting. So it gets some from the stars, but it's like
I thought this was just the timer.
Click it or hit minus really fast. Minus, and then click on your newly built thing, and turn it off because it doesn't produce that guy.
But there.
Yeah. So by turning it off, we're going to conserve the little power we have until daybreak.
So we don't end up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
You might need a second power.
So we're halfway through the night.
I think that's actually the light level from the stars, but I could be wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think this is the timer.
Okay,
because I think it's going to fill up and then it'll say daytime.
The thing is, the one on the right of that is the wind speed.
Right,
Which is how much power you're getting from your windmills, which is why I feel like the one on the left might be how much power you're getting from your solar panels. But that would be a weird amount of light to get from stars, so
well, I mean, right here I'm saying this is wind strength. This is telling me a ticking timer.
Okay.
Day 0, hour 1.
Yeah, oh, we're in some trouble now.
Yeah, we're about to lose her, but I think everybody's got spacesuits on, right?
I mean, the thing is, just the oxygen generator is going to stop generating oxygen when you're out of power.
It'd be weird if we.
The only thing you could turn off is the airlock. It's a game where you can do that. I mean, the fact is that because you took as long as you did, and not that it was really any fault of your own, to build your solar panel and power collector, it didn't get to fill up during your first day.
Yeah.
And so if you had built it like 5 or 6 real life minutes faster, it would have filled up faster. And that's the sort of like, oh, one thing ever went wrong. Okay, I guess we're out of air. Oh, well, then everything else is going down. Hello, Hi Cadet and Dark Flame. Welcome.
I'm sure we'll be fine. Nope, we're going to be okay. One thing I wish I could do was disable things that were under construction.
Oh, like pause the construction on
Yeah,
it,
and just
or-
say don't construct this anymore. Construct everything else. But once you put something out there, you basically have to cancel it or.
Yeah, you can recycle it, which will then make people have to go and then dismantle it. Maybe they walked really far from home, and yeah. I wish you could prioritize construction.
Yes, same here.
Yeah,
but
so-
the way you prioritize it is not build new things.
Yes.
You just sit there and
Yep.
wait for something to complete before you build something new.
Yep. And once you get into stuff like making spares, you'll wind up in a scenario where building too much all the time means you're not sending any of your passive metal income to like.
No!
Okay.
Out of power! But
Now we wait and see how long the oxygen we made lasts before the sun comes up. It turns on the oxygen generator again.
Oh. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So right now we're trying to see if the amount of oxygen we were able to make will get us to daybreak, where our solar panel will turn back on, powering the water extractor.
Getting so
and the
close.
all-important oxygen generator, which will keep all of our colonists from dying within 8 minutes of them starting a base.
Oh, and they're all thirsty too, because there's no power coming from.
Well, no, that's because
Oh, we don't have the canteen. Anything in
you
the
haven't
canteen.
actually built the. Yeah.
Well, hey, let's keep these guys busy so they're not thinking of their misery by having to build stuff in the canteen.
Don't know if it works that way.
Oh, in my
We'll find
fantasy
out.
world, it does.
So you want to do a water fountain, a meal maker, and a large table. I don't know why the game even has small tables. They're silly. Then put the meal maker, which is the vending machine, dude on the left, by the water fountain if you can. You want to conserve space.
I can't.
Click on that water fountain and cancel it, and then put the meal maker there, or recycle.
There it is.
And then put the meal maker there, and then the water fountain in the little corner. You can put
okay.
the water fountain in a bunch of places, but the meal maker needs a big slot.
Gotcha.
And then
okay.
I'd put a screen up, because TV
'cause,
distracts
yeah.
people from their problems.
That's going to work way better than. I'll put it behind the vending machine just to be obnoxious. Or, no, I'll put it over here.
There
we
you
go.
All right, so if we zoom out, it looks like we made it to the next day. Hooray.
We survived. Okay,
Yay.
cool.
So now you can turn stuff back on, like that canteen that we're working on, and even the dorm, where you should probably put some beds.
I guess people want to
Maybe
sleep
like
in beds.
3 beds. 3 sets of 2 beds. The game will let you do dorms or eventually cabins. Cabins are owned beds that raise morale. Dorms are communal beds that people just come in and go out of. I don't think I want to build cabins ever, because then people will travel from their bed to their job, whereas with dorms, they'll go to the nearest bed from their job.
Yeah.
And so cabins...
Seems like the morale is not worth it. You're basically just saying, these are fake people, and I don't care about it.
Well, no, there's morale matters, but like there are better ways to do it than giving them their own beds. You can literally build them giant mouse wheels that they'll run in, which makes
Really?
them happy because cynicism.
Wow, that's
Give them
awesome.
TVs and treadmills, and they're like, "That's all we needed." And eventually, alcohol. That's the more advanced thing.
So,
We got a bunch of folks in here today.
so should I build another storage?
Yeah, I would do another power collector. You'll never regret extra power collectors or power or water in the long run. The only cases in which those are a problem is if you built them before you built like food supply, which is a thing we should do in the very near future.
Okay, yeah. So biodome, right?
By the way, click on the top right corner of the screen, that little 2-hour thingy.
Oh, tell me what
Those
I've
are
got
your
left.
resources. I didn't know that menu existed for my first 4 hours of play, and it's
Yeah,
super handy.
There's some weird things about the UX here. Like, for instance, speed.
Is next to build, is next to stats,
Yeah.
is next to, I know, it's all
And,
like,
and you can go into the speed and then out of it again, but you don't just have a constant speed control, which is
there's
what
this
I got
idea
really
to put
used
like
to.
every verb in the game is one of those octagonal buttons in the corner, which is
Just makes it really hard to tell which
Yeah.
one you're going for.
there's less
You
what
have
the
to parse all of the icons instead of just going to the familiar button.
there's less what the hell does this mean than there was with Rebel Galaxy, but there's still a lot of why is this here and why can't I find it.
Like, one thing that's happened is, like, building an exterior thing means this button, but also
Showing the tops.
showing
of
the tops of things.
Right.
The button looks the same.
I don't know why they did. You can also just hit tab for that.
Oh,
It's easier.
that's nice.
A bunch of folks.
Boink. Yeah, we're looking at the chat right here.
Yeah.
We got several
Talking
people.
about Zbusters, that's the current community.
Community game going
game we're
on.
playing.
Yeah. Okay, so biodome is what I need, right? To generate food?
I would recommend again. This is one of those
Large?
build the big one you can sooner, because that big one will keep you good for like 30 people. Go right next to the oxygen thing. Maybe even give it 2 connections if you can. Like pull slightly back, see if you can get to 2. There we go. Perfect. So do that. Redundant access to buildings is good in case meteors hit your tunnels and then people are suddenly trapped.
Which has not happened to me yet. I haven't actually lost a
Totally
tunnel
happened
to
to
it.
me.
Okay, so this is going to use the rest of my metal. So
The rest of your metal until you recycle the spaceship, which will give you like 10 more.
I should still plan my
Yes,
my mine.
you should do a mine really soon, and then you'll need a processing plant
Right.
to handle the stuff. Mines are actually really cheap to make. They're only cheap, but you want them really close to your airlock because, we talked about this sooner. And it looks like perfect.
will
You can
work.
actually go right there.
Ploink.
That was a well-placed airlock,
I'm proud of it.
as you should be. So it's going to be useless to you without a processing plant. But now, again, we're building like 3 things at once.
Yeah, so maybe we should just speed up and let the stuff get done.
Yeah.
And, collecting ore without a processing plant won't be harmful. It's just not very useful.
Correct.
And I think we're going to run out of metal before
I think it's probably time to recycle the thing.
Yeah, let's recycle this guy. Boom!
So there you go, 10 more metal, which is incredible at this phase.
Yeah.
Originally, I followed what the tutorial recommended and built a bunch of self-sustaining facilities before building a landing pad. And then later I realized traders will save your butt from your dumb mistakes. All of the different mistakes.
So after this, processing plant and landing pad.
Landing pad, yes. And then a sick bay not soon after, or very soon after that.
Oh, yeah.
A sick bay with a bed is enough to solve all your sickness problems for a long time until you start getting solar flares, where if you don't have your entire community inside, whoever was outside for more than like 10 seconds,
or something?
they get radiation sickness, which means they can't work until they get treated, which consumes 1 medical supply per person. So a solar flare gone wrong in the early game can take out half your population and suddenly they're not productive.
Wow.
And you'll death spiral.
Oh, look, meteor.
Didn't hit you this time. Later in the game you can make anti-meteor lasers.
There is so much more to this, because I played a little bit of this. There is so much more to this than I realized.
Yes, I'm very happy with this.
Weapons. Why do you need them?
I don't know yet. I haven't been attacked. I have 2 guards and 10 guns.
Is it
so far,
maybe later, like maybe the later planets?
I think it's a combination of later planets or higher population or more time.
Can you have a rebellion? Because that would be amazing.
I don't think so. God, I've played. That's very a Dwarf Fortress thing.
Yeah.
To have if low morale, people are like, no, I'm taking over this colony.
Oh, hey, Brent, want to come check out Planetbase?
Oh, nice.
Yes, this is how I find out about new games.
Yeah. Come, check out these domes in space as we try to keep these people from running out of food or air or robots or metal or morale.
So we want to feed them. We also want to make starch. So give them some tomatoes.
You want the top left 4.
Top left 4?
Top left 4. You want the fastest...
These 4 here?
Yes. And then the 1 medical plant.
All right, so...
I would do center first.
But I like having these on the edges.
Fine, Geoffrey. Fine.
So
it makes you happy.
Yeah, Brian.
Get the tomatoes.
Leave him alone.
Don't back him up.
Come on, man.
One,
gotta try.
and then that one. Should I also start making metal supplies?
1 medical supply thing, yes. Or, sorry, that makes medicinal plants, which can be used to make medical supplies.
Not in Australia.
Womp womp. It's okay. Here they just treat all problems. The same like generic medical supply will fix a broken bone or radiation or malnourished people, which is actually a thing.
Okay, so this top row of foods are all starchy, which means they make food and
it's 2
supplies
food.
for making plastic, basically.
They make 2 food, 1 starch, and the starch can be converted into bioplastic, which makes a lot of things.
And then how much do these make? Just
3 vegetables.
Bioplastic.
3 vegetables, okay.
No one needs to know!
All right, so that's going on.
Do you have little humans running around?
Yeah, there's little humans. Yeah, so they all have specialties, different jobs they can do. They're carrying stuff around. We got robots that move stuff around more efficiently and build stuff better.
Is Matt Damon one of them?
I hope so.
That would be some great DLC.
Yes.
It's a 1-man colony with just Matt Damon, and it's like a pre-built base.
Okay, so we've built all this stuff. Now we need to build more stuff.
Yes, the processing plant will allow you to take the ore that you've mined and turn it into metal, which you can use to make stuff.
So that seems important.
Aliens?
We can make aliens? No, we cannot make any
No,
aliens.
I mean, do aliens show up?
We know we need guards and guns for something, and don't know what yet.
We don't know. Yeah, we haven't encountered
There's a
aliens
job
yet.
title called guard, and you can build an armory that has guns in it, and I don't know what they're for yet.
Okay.
You can put the whole base on red alert, which will tell them to attack whatever shows up, but I don't know what that means yet.
This game is tantalizing.
I hope it's alien.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
So Dark Flame, I haven't actually done
pirates.
the bar yet. Do you actually need specifically potatoes to make vodka? Is that a thing?
Oh, I don't know. That was
I know there's a bar, and I know you can turn vegetables
Hey,
into
Geoffrey.
alcohol for morale.
Geoffrey, how do you make alcohol?
First you take food, and then you wait too long, and then you get alcohol.
Yeah.
Unless... Oh, I won't. I'm not gonna...
Okay, so should I...
Womp womp.
What should I make?
So
Med stuff,
probably,
lab?
So be careful here. Using the right resources on the wrong thing can totally be the reason why you died.
Could I do a storage place?
You'll need things you'll need in the near future. A landing pad to let
that was
traders
the other thing we were talking about. Landing
maybe
pad.
a sick bay.
Okay.
And maybe a factory to take your metal and turn it into spares. Now, letting traders show up is your all-purpose solution to, oh no, I ran out of blank, which is great, but you do need to have an excess of something. So far, all the colonies I've made produce way too much food, and then I trade food for stuff.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
So you want that close to your airlock, because that's going to have...
I was thinking of making a second airlock.
Then do that. Yeah, do that. Maybe do that first.
All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's do
Dark Flame says, I have no idea.
airlock.
Womp womp. There is a bar in the game, and there is a way to
Dark
turn
Flame's
veggies
here?
into alcohol. Yeah, we got
Dark Flame is
Hi,
here.
Dark
We got a
Flame.
good crowd. We got Wardenator, High Cadet, Dark Flame, Mom Prance. Taylor's here.
Well, I could have told you the rest of them.
I
Wait, Mom France is here?
Gasp!
yeah.
Hi, Mom France.
Hello.
Love you.
Uncle Brent says hi.
All right, so there's our landing pad. Connect it to this.
Yep. And then hit plus a couple times and wait. So now you've got food supplies up. So a really handy thing are those little arrows in the top right. That will tell you how you're tracking. So right now.
Oh yeah. So
don't-
I've been spending metal and not getting much.
Correct, but you're increasing in ore. So like your production is starting up. You wanna
I forgot to build processing
probably
stuff.
one metal processor and then one plastic processor, which is enough for now-ish. And your engineers will, or no, your workers will go there.
So I've got some ore stored up now.
Right.
So.
You'll turn that ore into metal at the.
Where does the ore store up when I don't have storage?
If you zoom into the front of the mine, and this is one of my favorite parts about the game, is that it's an invisible mechanic. There's just a pile of ore there.
Piles, nice.
Like there's this
Awesome.
idea of actual physical space, and resources
Yeah.
will just be.
Things are in places.
Yes, all resources have actual locations. There's never like it never turns into a number. Even when you build a storage area, you just see giant piles of all your stuff that are the direct representations of your resources. So every little thing has a box.
That's really cool.
Adds a nice sense of reality to it.
Oh, this requires one metal.
Right, so it's waiting for that one metal to be delivered to it, and then it can be built.
That one metal's waiting here.
That is a metal. So here's I don't know what their prioritization scenario is. I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it's
I need to recycle that.
whatever you build first. And yeah, now what they'll probably want to doing now is grab that metal, and if you built the airlock first, they'll go there. So
I think I need to recycle all my stuff.
Well,
Until I can make metal,
nothing.
I
else
can't make any of the other things.
Okay, you're totally right. So now we have that's one of those don't expand too fast things.
Yeah.
So now you've got your one piece of metal there, and now a constructor bot's going to go up and turn into a metal processor. Now why don't you click that building? There's going to be a up arrow.
Yes,
So
high
now
prioritize it.
your workers will go, oh, I should make metal before I farm ore.
That
And then
works.
they'll go do that first.
Whoa,
So
a
we're gonna start
meteor
doing it
just
now.
fell in the background.
Yeah, it can fall on your base too,
And
apparently.
like wreck buildings and kill people, and later you can build meteor lasers and telescopes to try and head them off.
Okay, so until I've got my economy up and running, I'm not going to build frivolous things like extra airlocks. I think I'm just going to build a landing pad over here next to my
Yeah,
existing one.
frivolous is the cardinal sin of this game, is building stuff you thought you might have needed, but it turned out was just a luxury.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't build a sign for my base until we had already been up and running for like 8
Yeah, a
hours.
sign. I don't know why you would ever build
It gives you
sign.
prestige, which actually makes more visitors show up. If you have a tier 2 landing pad, you basically get tourists who give you money in exchange for using stuff in your base.
Nice.
Which is, from a certain perspective, the worst thing, because you're just adding strain and load to your theoretically delicately balanced systems. But they give you money, which you can trade for stuff like GM tomato patents, which grow twice as much food or something like that for the same amount of space.
That's cool.
Yeah. Or you can get patents for large versions of things like super large solar panels and things like that.
Did you drive turkeys eat yet?
Nope.
I ate a little bit.
Since we were doing this a little bit too early for me, I'm going to be eating when we're done.
Yeah, because we don't want to interfere with the Backseat Driver stream that happens at 1 o'clock. So.
Which you should all go check out after this.
Yeah, that's it. Twitch.tv/UndeadLabs at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays.
It's probably a post about it on the forums.
Probably, yeah. I think everyone here, actually, if we did stream at the same time as them, they would just open two windows
That's
and
probably
watch us
true.
and Backseat
Yeah.
Driver.
Yeah, we know you guys.
Several people have said that that's what they do. So that made me feel less bad about totally stomping on the Backseat Driver thing a couple of times.
Stop
Do
it.
you
just
start
synchronize.
out with a finite number of people?
Yes.
Yeah, I started
get
with
a-
like 6 people, 2 robots, and whatever came in your spaceship, including disassembling the spaceship.
So like the first thing you do is build a bunch of stuff that uses the resources you started with, and then you tear down your spaceship to turn it into like beds and food.
That's 100% commitment there.
Yeah. It's like we are not leaving anymore. We are
It's like
using
burning
that.
your ships when you get to the new.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
taking your ships apart to build houses. Which I kind of love the. I don't know if I'd call it verisimilitude, but it feels like there's a weight to my actions.
Yeah.
Like you are committed to this place, and if you screw up, the whole place is going down and nobody gets out.
I like the day-night cycle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important too.
It has mechanical repercussions. So your primary sources of power are either solar panels or windmills. Windmills are random based on the current wind and varied based on the amount of atmosphere on the planet you picked.
and therefore they suck.
They're inconsistent. Solar panels will always charge during the day but don't do shit during the night. So you build those big blue towers, which are basically capacitors to store power.
Hey, self-sufficiency reached.
Nice.
Because I can make plastic now.
Yeah, well now you can make plastic, which you can use to make more food panels and beds. Later you can actually grow meat, because it's the future.
Yeah, I love the growing meat thing. It's
Yeah, they grow like little hamburger generators. Adorable.
They look like steak generators.
Oh, look at that! The
Look,
stars are
it's
reflecting.
reflecting.
Yeah, check it out.
Dude,
Check out
that's
the way
awesome.
the sky map works. Like it's reflecting different. I love the fact that they did that. Like, it's a really nice touch for a game of this caliber. Like, you wouldn't expect that level of effort, but I'm, like, pleasantly surprised by that stuff with these guys.
Yeah, these guys have done some great stuff.
I am a fan.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Don't know if you need that yet. You
Thanks
can
for
get 3
letting me
workers
bust
in one.
in.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, good to see you.
The fans thing.
I can get 3 workers doing what?
So why don't you hit escape, click on your existing mine. So currently nobody's even in there, but you can have up to 3 workers in one mine.
So, but I can't like assign them full time to do that.
Right. There's basically diminishing returns until you've got more stuff going on. Like, it's not going to speed up your metal production as much as building another metal maker will.
Yeah, I just want to build so much crap, and it takes so much metal to build everything. Yep. I just want to maximize my metal.
So I don't say this often, but this game is largely about discipline. It's about not expanding too fast, not getting too ambitious, not getting overeager, because then you'll end up with too many mouths to feed, or not enough spare parts to repair the power generators.
I'm just not nobody's making metal for me.
So click on the metal maker, the one that you actually have. It has 3 ore in there. So what?
It's just waiting for some idiot to come work on it.
So why don't we take a look? So do you see any orange triangles above people's heads? So that means they're sick or injured. Ah, so one of your workers is injured. Ooh, maybe 2 of your workers are injured.
Oh, okay.
So why don't we hit the minus button, because we're probably in a bad way right now. Okay, so click on...
We definitely need a medical place, right?
Yes, so the sick bay is the only one you need, not the actual lab. Make sure you're building the right one.
Yeah, and then... what should I hook it up?
It's a dead end, I think. I usually put mine close to... Yeah, it doesn't have to be in a central location.
Over here.
That's where your airlock was going to go,
That's
and probably still
right.
should.
Oh, this is perfect, right here.
Sure, why not?
There, it's close to the other airlock. It'll be great.
Now, of course, do you have enough metal?
I doubt it.
You know what? You might already be in a dead man walking state. If you don't have enough metal to build the sick bay, that means you can't get your workers to get their heads on straight again, which means they won't be able to get any more ore.
Can I recycle something that's made of metal and get metal back?
You can.
Like my plastic thing?
Well, click that and it'll tell you what you'll get. So you'll get 3 sturts that are in it and the 1 piece of metal. You need probably 2 metal to build that sick bay, because you have to build the connection too. So why don't we think about what can we possibly get rid of? Is there a metal on that starbase already?
Not
also,
on
we should probably hose it, because it's going to get your priorities because you asked it to be built first.
That's true.
So don't even worry about that.
Oh, wait, did I just lose the metal that went into that connector?
That connector never got built.
I think it did. It was this color.
You'll get... Oh,
it was not that color. It was this color.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But still, we want that metal to go there. So what can we tear down for metal?
Well, let's also tear this down. I was being overambitious.
Yeah.
This already has the bioplastic. All it needs is this.
But now click on the connector, which also needs one of
both.
each.
Okay. So we've got enough bioplastic.
We have enough plastic. We're good on that front. Why don't we look at your... I guess the canteen. Is there anything there we can scrub?
Yeah, probably the TV.
The TV. That might have been made of plastic. Oh, they never built it.
Wow, why did they not build it?
I've seen cases where if you add a connection after doing a build, and the connection would take the same slot.
Yeah.
So you don't want to kill that, or nobody can eat.
Beds. What are beds made out of?
Plastic.
Ah.
I mean, so now we're in.
Are we down to like, let's kill one of these?
It might be like, kill a power generator to get that guy not sick, so we can get the metal to build another power generator. So here we are. This is the apocryphal oh crap experience.
Okay.
It's not obvious, but you might already be kind of effed.
Nope. 4 metal. We're doing it.
Okay. So as soon as night falls, turn off everything that's not.
No, we've got enough. I mean, this one full large thing is enough to keep this base going.
Okay,
yeah.
We will find out if you're right.
I'm always right.
That's impressive.
I don't think that's true.
You should run for politics, just in general.
Run for politics.
Just pick some politics and do them if you're always right. That's a unique talent. I'm gonna use that phrase again.
All right, so there's a constructor bot.
Montprance is reminded of a mission in Star Wars Lego. It's definitely got stars and a little bit of what feels like Lego sometimes.
Okay, so
we just build 1 bed. You only need the 1 for now. Yeah, especially if you're like low on plastic. So I would double time it.
So I'm glad that you knew to even look for these injured guys, because yeah, everybody's injured.
This is one of the things the game doesn't do a good job of. It doesn't let you know that when a character is sick, they will do nothing, and everybody is vital. And so letting them stay sick basically just means you're opening up the door to the spiral of death. And so if you can build that bed, what will happen is they'll sit in that bed one at a time, your medic will come by, use one of your very limited medical supplies. You have 10 of them right now, which is plenty, but eventually you'll have to make your own.
Yeah.
And that'll get them up and running again, which will let them go back into the mine and start making the metal again. And so maybe...
So now that that's working, I can put my other plans in place, which include...
I would honestly double time it and wait for everybody to get better before building anything.
Why?
because you'll want to get all your workers up and running before you start consuming the metal. Basically, you want to make sure you don't do this again, right? We have to ask ourselves, what do we need next to avoid disaster? So we've got food, we've got oxygen, we've got water, we've got...
What's this guy? Well, he's just sad.
Yes, because you never built a TV for him.
Oh, right. Well, let's do that at least.
That's,
we can build
that's
a
pretty
TV.
reasonable. I mean, you're not low on plastic, I don't think. Well, you have one plastic, but...
It's worth it.
Yeah, no, getting people from no morale to any morale is a pretty good jump.
Yeah, we've got plenty of starch, and we've got this thing, so we're good.
Yep. You just need to have your workers not be sick so they can actually operate it.
Yeah.
So now we're
Speaking
really...
of which, medic, where are you?
Your medic is a human and might be sleeping or watching TV or exercising, and then later will do their job. Hey, they showed up.
There he is.
So you can see they actually brought the medical supplies with them. They brought their little white box. I love that about this game.
Oh, he's happy. He's well, not happy. He's just,
He's not...
He's alive.
He no longer has broken bones from his time in the mines.
Power source is low, but the day just started. Yay!
So you're right. One collector is enough for now.
For this base.
Right.
And we still got 2 metal. That means we're still not making any because...
Well, you can click on the metal maker. So I think your workers are actually... Yeah, so one of them is in the mine right now.
Okay.
If you click on the metal maker, it's loaded up and it's halfway through a production of some metal. And
Somebody
you've got another
just needs
worker
to come do it.
just got unsicknessed, I think. Or what's that orange? Go to the canteen. Somebody's got something wrong.
He's just
click on
super,
that
super
person.
sad.
He might be literally depressed.
Yeah, he's just super sad.
Okay, so they're not...
He's the medic. The medic is sad.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's going to be a sandstorm soon. So
There is
it
a
just slowed your time down. The sandstorm is starting up. What I recommend you do is close your mine immediately, get everybody inside the base, and then turn off the power to the airlock, which will prevent people from leaving. The right way to do this is to have a command center, which will allow you to tell the base it's on yellow alert, which will make all the AI do smart things. Until you have that, you basically don't have the communication tools to tell everybody.
Is, I don't have... Okay, so is everybody inside? Okay, everybody's
so.
inside.
Click on the airlock and then turn it off. Now, we wait.
Because I don't need more injuries, is what we're saying.
Right, and if you let people be outside during a sandstorm, it'll quickly deplete their health. A lot of them will get injured.
As we all learned in The Martian.
Yeah. Don't be outside when the sandstorm's happening.
I've never built a command center.
Yeah, I only recently got to the point where that ever made sense. They're nice to have. You actually need them to also accommodate telescopes and radio antenna, which allow you to detect meteors and get in contact with ships in orbit, respectively.
Oh.
I've never gotten in contact with a ship in orbit yet. I'll let you know what that's like when it happens to me.
Cool. Well, okay, they're actually making metal now.
Yeah, they're inside. The same supply of workers have fewer jobs, and so the odds of one of them being at the metal maker are higher.
So it looks like it's dying down. It's died down.
All right, so now you can turn the airlock back on and turn the mine back on. Now, of course, if you have the mine on high priority, your workers are going to maybe do that on this. So right now, your metal maker and your mine are at the same priority.
Oh, yeah.
If you turn the mine down,
we'll
they'll
process
be more
the
likely
ore.
to be processing it, which will increase your metal. So you're up to 3 metal again.
Okay, so maybe
you've got
it's time to
food,
build.
you've got a sick
We're
bay.
getting really close to being ready to build the. When we have
Starport.
5 metal, that's when we build the starport.
Sure.
So part of me wants just to invest in one of those metals in making a second metal maker, though.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you'll get to a worker shortage, but that'll get solved by letting more people in your base, which opens up all of the doors to all of the other problems. But
Yes.
that's the that's the loop. Right? You get to a point where you have to accept risk in order to solve a current concern,
Yeah.
and it's always about managing that line.
All right, so.
But this game has definitely gotten to this sort of civilization style flow for me, where I can just stare at it for hours and slowly, methodically, carefully make things a little bit better. But oh god, not that.
Yeah, I can actually play this. I can play this with Milo on my lap. You know.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, he still tries to slap the keyboard, but that doesn't hurt this game as much as it does other
No,
games.
not at all. It's mostly just watching and making sure nothing's going wrong, and then mashing the minus button and then making fixes.
Yeah.
So you'll want to make a new power collector pretty soon too, because you got close to done on this one as it was before, and even the machines you build inside of your facilities can in fact incur additional power costs.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And so this is really tricky because one in-game day you'll make it through the night just fine, and because you built anything during the next day you won't make it all the way through the night, and the air will stop getting made, right? And so it's an invisible line that you cross that you have to sort of just gauge.
So, but this, like right now, this thing is powerful enough that it makes enough to fill a couple of these things during the day.
So you don't need...
But eventually, when my base is bigger, this won't be making enough of a surplus each day.
Correct.
To fill them. So I'll need to make another.
Yep, and so you get you build the panel, and then you build more collectors, and eventually you build another panel to refill the same collectors, and then you build more collectors, then you build more panels.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which is why I recommended building the super large solar panel.
Both working. So I'm going to be up at 5 in just a sec.
Yep. So
And 5 I think might be enough to build a collector.
It's 4 plus
plus a connect. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so it's low. You might need to hit the emergency turn off the things button. So if you go to back...
No, we're good. Sun's coming up.
Oh, you're right. We're right there. So just so you know, if you hit back here, or build the connection first, and then go to the wrench and lightning bolt icon, which could be better, and then click on the spreadsheet, the grid.
The grid?
Yeah. There's a disable button. Don't hit that. If you need to, that will disable everything that doesn't keep people alive immediately.
Gotcha.
Like basically air locks and oxygen generators stay on, everything else goes off. That is the oh shit panic button for when you think you're not going to make it through the night.
Okay, so hey, we had enough because we waited until we had enough stuff.
It came up right away.
That was great.
So let's take a look at what's going to go wrong in the future. So you have 6 medical supplies, and you have no ability to produce your own just yet.
That's true. So
also,
a lab might be a high priority.
You have 9 spares.
We made 3 of the medicinal plants.
Right. So you'll have some backlog to build medical supplies against.
I got an aching wrist from the angle that I'm.
Okay, you got to do one of these guys.
Yeah.
These guys do a lot of that.
Slide down a little bit.
Yeah, it's not a great setup for PC games. This is like a console environment with a laptop hanging out. And that was the end of Geoffrey. I'm on this camera now. Okay.
All right. Anyway.
We gotta get you a lap desk to hold the camera. Oh, that totally works.
Maybe I'll.
Oh, because they're both on there, and so if you move both of them, it'll actually work reasonably well.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
So, you don't need more spares yet, but you will. That will need a factory.
So do you think lab first before factory?
In this case, I would do starport first.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Starport beats everything, and then labs and factory.
Yes, starport will allow you to trade what you have too much of, what you don't have.
Because I hit a point with my base I was building where this got damaged.
Yep.
And I had no spares, and so I was like scrambling to get a factory up and running, and it was like its efficiency was way down, and like everything was falling apart.
Yep. As a rule, if you don't have stockpiles and something goes wrong, you'll never be able to spin up the infrastructure to make the thing you need fast enough to solve its problem, and so you have to be proactive. So right now you've got 9 spares, and you don't have that much equipment, so you're probably okay for a while.
Yeah.
But your medical supplies are running much lower, and so we'll do the starport because that provides a general case fix, and then after that we can do the labs that we can specifically make more medical supplies. That'll also let you grow meat, which will help people not get malnourished. If they go too long without eating any meals that don't have just veggies, they will get malnourished, and then they will be effectively sick and can't work.
So because my number of workers is so low, building another mine would be a waste of my time.
Right, because you can't utilize it yet.
Yeah.
But traders might allow you to get driller bots, which will work in mines and work more efficiently than people.
Oh yeah, that costs a lot of trade though, right?
Correct, a ton. But you can actually build a robot-making factory and make your own robots that will carry things. And then you have to buy the patents to make the driller bots.
The patents.
You buy patents, because this is one of my favorite things that will actually happen in the future, is that making a thing won't be hard, but the IP for a thing will be expensive.
I love that. One of the things that you could trade in Rebel Galaxy was IP.
Yeah.
It was like really valuable.
Yeah.
But it's entirely valuable because it's backed up by force. You know, it's like someone will kill you if you don't buy the IP.
I mean, this game has you can get a GM tomato DNA.
Yeah.
But you have to get that, you have to buy that from somebody, and then they just produce a ton more food. So you've got 22 vegetables and 4 meals. So you're actually doing really good on food right now. I'm going to recommend you go down the same path I went down, which is to make a little bit too much food, but then you trade it for stuff. And that becomes your sort of barter currency.
That makes sense.
So you might actually want to take your plastic, you've got 3 of it right now and nobody's using it, and make a couple of more food pads so that by the time you get traders coming up, you've got a good stockpile of veggies to just trade away. So maybe just like...
just stuff I hadn't made yet?
Yeah, onions and radishes, because food variety is good. There's actually an enormous, like, I read the wiki page on this, there's like 30-ish kinds of meals they can make, and they will use different combinations of whatever you have as actual vegetables to decide what kind of meal they make, which in turn determines their nutrition level. That's all happening, and all you have to do is just make those things get spawned. Don't go too nuts, because your biologists will spread themselves equally across all the different boxes.
Okay. Should I cancel some of these?
I mean, 3 is probably fine.
Okay.
Today the future feels probably secure, Cadet. I mean, we did have to, like, tear down our power storage to keep people from getting sick to prevent the base from dying, but that actually worked. And so we've avoided imminent disaster
I need to up this
for now. Yeah, are you low on ore?
You know what? I'm not. I thought I was, but I'm not.
So there's the sort of, like, priority juggle you can do to make everybody go to the mine and then have them all go back to the
So he's got 1 ore in there. He's got 2 ore in there. So yeah, I need people working in here to make that.
Yes.
Because once they've made 3, I need 4.
Yes.
So I guess I do want someone to eventually go in there.
There's a person in there already. Remember, they're not going to not work there if the priority's lower. They'll just spend less of their time in it. So you can actually see somebody just walked out. He's not coming back home for the night.
Oh, speaking of night. Yeah, okay, so this is how much we... Wait, was this the day we built this?
I believe so.
Or was that 2 days ago?
I believe that's the day you built this. It doesn't represent the full surplus.
Okay, because I love, by the way, so the interface is like... It's really hard to it's really hard to find your way through the interface, but the physical things they do out here are all great.
Yes, they have a really genuine sense of physicality. Every item is a box that has a position in space and takes up some measure of actual volume. Your power is measured in what looks like a water tank.
Yeah, and so like this will like descend over time, and no, it's great.
You can actually do a water tank that also behaves like a water tank. Although
I've seen that, yeah.
I haven't seen anything that consumes water selectively. Everything I've seen seems to consume water all the time, so I'm not sure what the water tank is for.
Well, I think it's for like if you have a water tank, then when you start running low on water, you have a buffer.
Right, in the same way that the power collector does that. The thing is, water never seems to stop getting generated, and so I'm not sure why you would ever need a buffer. Like, I've never actually found utility in it. Maybe different planets don't have the same behaviors here. Maybe some planets have water go on and off.
Maybe some of them have water wheels you can make. Probably not. Probably not.
Probably not.
That would be out of character for this.
Yeah.
To have something that I guess you got this depending on.
You have no metal right now.
Yeah. And nobody's working in the machines either because these are all losers.
Wait, does that mean that they built the pad?
Nope.
Oh, click on the pad. Wait, what happened? I thought we had like 3 metal.
Nope. Well, we had.
Oh, did that go to the collector? And I'm thinking, okay, so they built that one
built
connector.
The collector, yeah.
And the collector, and now they're sleeping. So you can just double time it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the cool
I keep
thing
forgetting
about,
what time I'm at.
One of the coolest things about robots is they don't sleep or eat or use oxygen. You
Can I just have a basis entirely made of robots?
I'm trying at home right now.
Can I kill off all the humans and just keep robots?
No, the robots won't grow food.
And it's like it's a robot apocalypse. Well, they don't need food.
They don't run food. They won't work machines.
Oh, okay.
So you eventually wind up in a scenario where the robots do all of the labor that's like manual, and then anything that requires
like
intelligence or expertise becomes a human. So like turning ore into metal will always be a human job, but eventually you'll replace all of your workers in the mines with drill bots.
Gotcha.
But then you also have to be able to produce your own semiconductors and your own robots at your robot factory, and also maintain a robot repair facility, which you'll get to later.
Okay, so I've got my 4 metal now, so I'm going to deprioritize the mine. Just guys, come and work the stupid metal processors.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that Dwarf Fortress style, why won't the guys do what I want arg going on.
Here we go.
But it's not terrible. Power storage is low, but it looks like you're getting close today.
It's not that low.
I think you'll make it. Actually, Taylor, I'm saying the opposite. The robots only work the heavy machinery, but the heaviest machinery is the invisible machinery in the mine. Anything that requires some entity to understand what it's doing and then express intent is probably going to have a human behind it, at least in this game. The robots tend to do stuff like move things from place to place or drill into the dirt.
And they do that stuff faster than humans do.
They will build things faster, carry things faster, move faster, drill faster. Yes. They're expensive to produce and takes a lot of infrastructure to get up and running before you can maintain a robot fleet. But I currently have a base that's like 33% robot. And it's way easier to scale with robots than humans.
Oh yeah, because they don't just keep eating more.
That meteor was close.
They probably start taking. You probably need a lot of parts, right, to keep them in shape, right?
I think they actually. I don't know if they consume spares. You build a repair center for them, and then they just get fixed, and then another human can repair them. They will eventually become what is called irrevocably damaged and have to get replaced.
Oh, okay.
So like robots are finite. So you were running a little low on medical supplies. So as soon as that starport's done, I'm pretty sure we want to queue up a lab, but we should probably wait till it gets finished.
That makes sense. Wee, flying around.
We'll be on time.
Yeah, wait, what time is it?
It is 12:30.
Okay,
Got
cool.
about 15 minutes.
We'll be fine.
Ish. And I gotta grab a quick lunch and then get back to making video games.
Make metal.
Make metal faster.
You pointing out the way that resources work and are tracked, like, okay, it's being made here, and you can like basically follow it physically from place to another. That makes a big difference
really
to my
powerful.
understanding.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
It also makes the base feel, and it makes the sense of distance and space feel really pronounced.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually look at it and say, like, this guy's going to exert more energy getting it from point A to point B because I did a bad job of designing my base.
Look at this. I've got
there you go.
a landing.
So now, click anywhere in the dirt.
Click anywhere in the dirt.
Click the lightning bolt and wrench icon. Arg. Now click the crosshair. Okay, so here's how we decide
So
who
we can have
show up.
colonists. We can't do visitors right now, right?
Correct.
What is this?
You just got some colonists immediately.
Colonists!
So be wary. The fastest way to death spiral your base is to have too many people in it.
So I can turn off permission for colonists
Correct.
if I have
And
too
after
many.
this first drop, first let's see what we got. You reached the expansion milestone because you're adding new people. That looks like
An engineer, a biologist, and a worker.
That's a pretty good split. I would actually immediately turn off colonists.
All right.
Just for now, because you don't want to unknowingly flood your base with people that you can't feed.
All right. So I'm only looking for traders now.
Right.
And
So those people will all immediately show up. So your engineer is going to not have much to do yet.
is it a biologist that works in the lab?
Biologist works food. The lab.
Who does the lab?
The lab is both biologists and medics. Medics will
the
make
medics will make their own stuff, and the biologists will make the meat.
meat. Yes, they will work the meat growing box.
Well, let's queue up a lab to be built.
Yes. Now that we've got our starport, and I don't think you need a large one. A nice cheap one will actually be good enough for now.
Okay, so put it right here.
Sure.
I guess.
This is one of those things where you don't want to have a central location because you don't want to build too many entrances to it because that limits the amount of things you can put inside it.
I guess I can just do an end run around it if I need to.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
Okay, so but I have nowhere near the metal I need to build it.
Drac, we have not gotten rated yet. Neither of us have actually seen the combat mechanic at all. Feel free to tell us how that works in chat, because it's going to probably just brutally murder everything.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
It's going to be bad.
Got rated by Lara Croft, suggests Small Prance. I'm going to get rated by Lara Croft in a few weeks. I'm so excited about the new Tomb Raider game coming out.
I can't. I don't go in for those too much. I don't know.
It's totally like, I mean, I've got a lot of different things, but that is one of the things.
So you should probably up the priority on your biodome. You'll notice those red and orange wrenches mean that those pads are not producing because they haven't been sufficiently maintained.
Gotcha.
So again, if you build too many pads before you have enough biologists, you'll just wind up with a mediocre maintenance ability and a lot of stuff.
Because there's not always anything else the biologist could be doing, right? Unless you're just screwing
They
around.
don't do a good job of triage. What I would want them to do is say, how many can I maintain successfully? Let me do that. What they will do instead is say, I will distribute my time equally across all the boxes, which does not guarantee any of them work.
That makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that this was happening. It doesn't make sense as a decision by them.
I don't know if it was a conscious choice or just the result of some other approach being utilized here.
I kind of like how the base sort of
pops in.
Back away. Yeah.
Hey, a trader.
Ooh, trader.
Yay! All right, so we have to wait for them to land, and then click on them again, and then you'll get to see a nice little trading UI that doesn't suck.
Work.
Go.
Work.
Go.
Work.
There
we go.
Okay.
Oh,
he's got a ton
all of this.
So remember, metal's not cheap. One metal is like 5 veggies. And they have this commission system because they're traders, which basically means the more shit you trade with them, the exponentially more expensive it gets beyond the actual value. So that is that allows you to make a 10 metal.
I can't afford anything like that.
Yeah, maybe like 3 is a good place to start.
So let's say that I can afford that.
Right, and then trade metal down. I mean, you can give them some starch, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
One more starch? Okay, so you get 3 metal from him. So now hit that button, and then double time it, because what's going to happen now is all your workers are going to stop their other jobs, and then just carry stuff.
Just carry everything over to the trader.
So my base at home, I run a maxed out large size farm with 30 people. So I wind up with like 70 or 80 veggies and 70 or 80 meat just sitting in a warehouse
so everybody
somewhere.
just has to...
So what we do is I trade my food. And so what happens is I actually get bottlenecked by airlocks because I can't load the damn trading ship fast enough because of the amount of stuff. I've had traders bail on me 60 units of vegetables into a trade. And they'll just fly away, and now there's 60 veggies in a pile on my starport, just decaying in the Martian atmosphere.
So if you anticipate that, you actually want to build like 2 airlocks pointing towards the same starport.
You want to make sure that people have the ability to get in and out of your base fast enough to load stuff. Having a lot of carrier robots helps because they're faster than humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he takes off, that means the trade has happened.
Yes. Or he said, F this, and he's out of there. But if he successfully makes the trade, you'll just see a bunch of resources left on the
there we go.
Like that. So he just left your metal right there, and that's how a trade works.
And so this is waiting for 1 + 1, so we've got plenty. We're going to make a lab.
That will get made, and then I don't know what you'll need for the medical supply thing, but if it's metal, you'll also have one for that. And yeah, Chronatosis, we originally were pitched this game as Banished in Space.
Yeah.
And you know what? It does that in a really good way, because it captures the spirit of that experience without aping the mechanics. It's got this very real sensation of don't expand too fast, try to design your stuff intentionally. The choices you make change the way your community feels.
Yeah. And we got things like the day-night cycle as opposed to the harvest cycle. Like there's cycles, but it's not,
You're not worrying about seasons, you're worrying about day-night. Like it's a more immediate... Like in Banished, you don't run out of air. You might run out of warm, but you don't run out of air.
Yeah, so there's pretty good analogies for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, so this is, if you're going to take somebody else's game and then make a version of it, this is the way to do it, right? You want to figure out why you liked that game, and figure out how that game achieves its goals, and then translate that into the version of the experience you want to provide. So if you ask yourself, what should Banished in Space feel like, and you land on this game, you've done an excellent job.
By the way, I really like that most things cost a simple whole number of, like a low whole number of resources.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like the resources come in big chunks,
yes.
which I appreciate.
And when you build something that costs 7, it feels massive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that was like 7 days worth of work to make the metal to build this biosphere. It feels really impressive when it goes online.
Yeah, what is this guy doing?
You're like 8 minutes. That is it's a carrier robot who's got nothing to do. He's just idling, basically.
I want to build a storage place just so we can move all this crap.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. You can and should eventually do. I don't know when it's right to do that. So here's the thing. Click on those resources that are out in the wild. See how they have a state?
They're decaying.
So because those came for free with your colony ship, they're reinforced. Other resources will not last as long in the wilds and will eventually decay.
How much is a storage place?
I think it varies. I think I start at 2 and go to 7, yeah.
I could afford to build one right now.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
Trader! Never mind.
Yeah, so traders will come pretty frequently if you allow them to.
I will allow it. This guy's got stuff I don't need.
Food, meals, alcohol, and money. So the thing about money in this game is that it allows you to have value without taking up storage space. And so what I tend to do is trade away my enormous piles of extra food that you don't have right now.
Yeah.
And then build up money so I can eventually trade for stuff and not have to have my entire base be lemmings to unload the food.
That makes sense. But for right now, it looks like I probably
so
don't
if you
care about
want
this guy,
him to go away and allow other traders to show up, yes, exactly.
All right.
So right now, your biggest thing that will probably screw you up is medical supplies, and then eventually spares.
So
you've got your medical thing up, right?
So should I do spares now? Should I do the factory?
I think so. Do the factory. We'll see. If your veggie storage starts to get crazy, then maybe we'll do the storage thing. But a factory is a great place to go next. We're also like T-5 on the screen.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I think I want to put it here.
Yeah, that sounds like it's nice to keep the core of your base having a lot of redundant paths and debts, so people can get from point to point faster. And then anything that's a dead end, you kind of want to shove to the edges. Now, those mechanics by themselves don't like feel great in the moment, but they do lead to bases that can be made well or poorly, and it lets you look back on your base and be like, I did a good job, which is a nice thing.
So this, so it needs one more metal than I've got, and a bunch more plastic. Wow, I'm low on plastic.
Yeah, because you only have one plastic maker.
I guess so.
Which you can make another one of because you have space.
I guess I could.
Although
that would cost a metal.
It actually might cost a plastic. You should check. I could be wrong. Okay, it costs a metal.
So next metal I make will either go to that or to filling up the last slot here.
Right.
But either way, I've got plenty of ore.
Yeah.
So
now would be a good time
to deprioritize that.
To double time it again. And let time pass. So remember, your power collectors also ran kind of low in that last day.
Oh, that's true.
This game is better when you have someone to play Clippy.
Yeah.
Stare at your base and remind you of what's going to go wrong in an hour.
That's true, yes. Oh, yeah, so we ran out of plastic, so that's why they haven't built my meat maker.
I guess, in the end, I rarely feel like I'm losing because of the game. I usually feel like it was my fault.
Yeah.
And once you failed, in my case, 8 colonies, eventually you realize, oh, no, I can avert all of these problems by not being dumb. I think my current winner is Unsinkable 3.
Unsinkable 3?
Unsinkable 3.
Oh, yeah.
Unsinkable 3 is a rock-solid colony with nothing wrong.
I love numbered unsinkables.
It's one of my favorite things.
I think actually that's in Orion Trail. I think the name of your ship is like the Indestructible 2 or something like that.
I mean, was it a Naked Gun joke, I think, where they had the boat Unsinkable 2?
Yeah, I think
that's where I stole that.
Okay, is that our metal? Here comes our metal.
If you see the metal machine going up and down, it's making metal, and yes, that was in fact.
But we're still short 2 plastic.
But you did build a plastic maker, and they're both going. And they're both loaded with starch, so you were going to have plastic coming out pretty soon. So your medical supplies are able to happen. You don't need spares that much yet, although that's going to be in the near future.
So I'll probably do this, and then I'll go...
I think a power collector is probably a wise investment in the near future, because you're actually running close to low.
But I'm not filling them up before nightfall. So I don't need another collector. What I need is another...
another panel first. Yeah, and the big panels are 7.
Yeah.
But totally worth it.
Big panels. So maybe we build a storage and then save up for...
a big panel. And then, that panel will propel you forward. I think
this is about to...
Yeah, we'll probably get that up and running, and then we might not have enough time, to do anything else.
Well, now that is guaranteed to go... I'll just build a smaller storage.
Yeah, you don't need a large one for storage yet.
So I'll be storing food and other stuff, so I'll stick it there.
Putting storage next to food is a good idea. Yeah, food is not one of those buildings where extra links cause it to be less effective. Yeah. And so it makes a nice central node.
So let's just have this only building spares for now.
Yes, I would literally just make a spares workshop and then let it rest.
And that costs 1 metal.
A trading ship has landed.
Oh, whoa! What do you offer? Metal!
So he's got metal. And so check this guy out. He's also got 2 different kinds of robots for sale and the patent to make constructor bots, which is useless to you right now.
Because I don't have much to trade here at all.
Yet. But if you build up your biologists, for example, and then build up your farm pads, you might be able to get enough extra food to do that. And so in this case, what I might do is go to the colony thing, crank it so that I only accept biologists, let 1 drop show up, build an extra bed or 2, and then build some more pads.
Oh.
And then wait, and then run my place at a food surplus, which works extra well with that storage you just made, stockpile a ton of food, and then you can start trading for whatever you want. Because you'll have this basically constant income that you can give to the traders. And then the game becomes like, it starts to feel like you're much more a part of an interconnected economy because
so we allow colonists, but we're specifically
if you just put up on biologists, eventually it will take everything else down.
I only want biologists!
Yep. They make for food.
And a little bit of worker.
A little bit of worker. You should probably do some more beds too, because I don't think you have enough for your whole colony to sleep right now.
Well, they can share beds. That'll add to their entertainment.
Mechanic not yet implemented. You can hold shift to do a couple of those, which I recommend. I'm not sure if there's a reason that we need to pick that spot and that we can't just hit next bed when it's got the ring snap. But I do like that for places like there's a leisure dome you can make that has the treadmill and TVs, and you can totally put different things in different places. Nice. And the game has just a little sprinkling of like Sims style design in it, which I actually really like. Like it's elegantly tucked in a place that doesn't get in the way of other mechanics.
Okay, so it looks like they can build this, and they're going to build that, and so then I'll have storage.
Nice, and then you can... That will give you a place to keep extra food, and so when you get a drop of biologists, which you should keep your eyes in the start part because it might happen invisibly. Actually, if you...
Oh, that's the metal that we have left.
If you click anywhere just to deselect stuff, and then go to the landing pad, the landing permissions menu, you can check. So yeah, you haven't got anybody yet. So you can actually see your current population here. I don't know if there's a better place to do it.
Yeah, there's the graph, but the graph's really hard to read.
Yeah, so again, like it's not ideal, but for whatever reason, this winds up being a very effective way to check your current population count.
Okay.
So when you get some more biologists, you should probably build another, like, a pad or 2 each, maybe even fill that room out, and then just, like, sit on the base and do very little. Because once you've got spares and medical supplies being made, and food and oxygen, and you can treat people who get sick, I think that's, like, legitimate self-sufficiency. Yeah. Like, that's a base that you can, at some level, just let run for a while.
Oh, this thing's busted.
Yeah, so you don't have enough biologists right now, so that thing is not getting maintained. Fun fact, you can change it from chicken to beef to pork.
What?
Yep. If you click on that thing,
is it relevant?
Yes, they'll make different... if you make 3 synthesizers and have them all make different kinds of meat, you'll get better diversity of food, which does a better job of maintaining the nutrition levels of your colonists.
That's crazy.
They'll make space burgers. Or space bacon.
Power storage is low, so we're going to need another...
Yeah, so, I think a power collector is next.
Or a power generator.
Yeah, panel, so you can fill up your collector. Maybe even both.
Trading ship. Bunch of ore.
Yeah.
Not as expensive as metal.
Nope, you do have to process it. Yeah, backseat driver is kicking up in 15. They're giving you a heads up.
All right.
So we are now at 45, so maybe we should...
Okay, but this game is so fun!
Right?
It's the
right kind of fun.
I mean, gross!
Where you forget how much time you spent, which is my favorite kind of fun. So I would save now. You can escape. And yeah, you can't actually name your saves, but it gives your saves names.
Oh, I know, it's so annoying.
Save one. I'm like, really, guy? Oh, shit, you're out of power.
Okay. Oops. How close are we to... Wait, we might be watching a... Death is always the best way to... Okay, so, what was that? Where was that emergency button?
It's too late. You don't have any power to distribute.
That's true.
There's just nothing. Hit double plus, hope for the best.
Oh, if we die... It's a tradition for us to die. In these games.
Oh, man, I would honestly go to landing permissions and just watch the counts and see if you start losing people.
Oh, wait, I keep thinking I should click on that. Because it's the same icon.
Taylor's right. I'm glad we saved exactly before we ran out of power.
I feel like we've got...
You might see, like I said, if you're not watching,
colony ship?
Sometimes they'll just show up and drop a person off and there's like no warnings.
Okay. So we definitely need a new solar panel.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna...
So the people aren't dead yet. Actually, if you double tap speed, I think you're gonna make it through this one.
Yeah.
They just kicked back off, and the power's coming back to a couple of things, and there's oxygen.
We're good.
I think
everything's
this time
fine.
you will not make it through the next day without another panel.
Yeah. So
and maybe even a collector. Now is a great time to actually save because we can get out of this one, and then we should probably stop before we do this for 2 more hours and forget to go make video games.
Oh, but okay.
Right?
I'm just gonna do one more thing, and that is
just one more turn.
Okay, so the question is, should I build a smaller one because I'll be able to get it done faster?
No.
Or just do this? Well, the thing is, if I'm going to die next night...
Maybe. This might actually be a case for... I've built windmills in this scenario. I don't like them. I don't like relying on them. But they might run during the night. They might fill you up during the day. They're very loosey-goosey about whether or not... The big ones are only 4. And they scale.
So I can just build one if I wanted to. Just one.
You could if you want.
I've got, you know...
2's not dumb if you really need to get it done today. Nothing like the extra finicky, do I want it here or do I want it over here? I guess it could go over there, but then it could be connected.
So here's something, though. We could power down this stuff we don't need right now.
Correct, and you could use that to generate more stuff during the day. So now you're in the micro of the game.
Yeah.
Is when you are in times of crisis, you can selectively choose to do more work to try and not let yourself get into a bad scenario. Like, you could even turn off your mine because you've got 7 ore, and you just traded for a bunch more, and the mine consumes power.
So, yeah, so I could... Okay, I'm going to plan to have a big...
Nice big panel over there when it's ready.
Panel.
And Jack, this does not simulate in the background. I think you actually have to be playing the game for it to go, and it doesn't do offline simulation of any sort.
Okay, so now I think I might be able to survive the next night because I'm using less power.
It is 12:50.
Okay, fine.
Listen, I'm having a lot of fun too. Alas, I must channel my parents and say we're out of time for video games.
I'm talking about what we're. Okay, so but my next plan. So my plan is all of these things are turned off. I'll probably survive the next night, which will give me time to process. Because the only priority thing I've got right now is this room that's got the metal stuff.
You've got enough ore that you can make enough metal to make the next panel to fill up the power collectors to survive the next night. And now you're low on food.
What's going on?
You let more people in.
I did.
And you didn't build. Well,
I sold a bunch of vegetables.
Right, because we had extra then.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, we also turned off the power to the food thing. When you lose power, like it's terrible, but not for obvious reasons. Because everything is now slowed, and so if you're relying on a certain rate of food, it's going to take time to get back up again. Turcon is suggesting we kill the lander. Ooh, tough.
We're wrapping up anyway. So that was that game. So Planetbase. Thank you, Brian, for teaching me about how to play the game better than I was.
It's a blast eventually.
So thanks for being here, everybody else, and we will of course see you tomorrow. Not quite sure what we're playing tomorrow. I could check out Tales from the Borderlands just because the 5th episode comes out tomorrow.
I didn't play any of them, and if I were to play any of them, I might play all of them. So I might not be here for that one, but we'll see.
I've also got a bunch of just indie games lying around here, so maybe we'll just grab one of those. Maybe we'll play Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time or something.
That one's fun. It's very stressful.
Well, that's what we like apparently.
It's a different kind of stressful.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here, everybody, and we are going to do our official awkward sign-off.
Thank you.